Welcome to the BookBlast podcast, which showcases a selection of the best writing in translation from around the world just published in the English language. Recent episodes have featured conversations from the BookBlast Book Club at Hatchards for those of you who couldn't attend in person. We're often joined by the author or the translator or their publisher. In this episode, we're delighted to be joined by Richard Village, publisher at Foundry Editions, to talk about Far by Rosa Ribas, translated by Charlotte Coombe. Based on Rosa Ribas actually visited what's known as the Manhattan of La Mancha, south of Madrid. And it was this huge development, which was then not finished. It was the crash, and everything went, and there was a sort of certain amount of corruption, as is often the case, and everything went pear-shaped. So the place was sort of half finished. And it gave her the idea, she thought, oh, it would be rather an amazing place for a love story. And so Rosa Ribas is very well known in Spain for her crime and noir. Yet the couple who become a couple, interestingly, and the whole atmosphere of the place that is sort of half inhabited, half not. What did you all think about it? Did you like the story? Did you think was it illuminating?
I mean, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just really liked how it, this unfinished thing, and it just like descends into chaos, basically, and shotguns, and as you said, like the Campari and
the Campari and pills, and how else you survive. Yeah.
Well, how else do you survive
frankly,
without Campari and pills?
But then it is awfully touching. We were just saying the old guy whose wife had died.
Yeah.
And so there was a real tenderness.
Yes.
About the way they were real people. Now that is quite something. They were real, believable, rather touching people, and also the horrible. Who is it? Not the mayor. The horrible man.
Pacheco.
Who's awful. Oh, well, he who weeps. I love it. Weeping at the foot of the statue.
Yes.
The statue in its espadrilles.
Oh, do you mean the president?
That's the president of the whole thing.
Of the residents.
The residents.
Oh
my, yeah.
Terrible
he was
man.
awful. And then the man who's horrible to the little boy who wants food. And, so it is the characters. Somehow she really, how she builds it up. It's very clever.
I read most of it quite a few weeks ago. So I read the end, and then I thought I'd better go back and read some of the beginning because I've forgotten it.
Yeah.
And it was only when I did that I realised it starts off by saying there were two bodies, but before the story ends there will be three bodies. Yeah, which is very good, but I'd forgotten it.
And so there is a bit of a crime because she's a crime writer. But I think what is interesting with her is that though, yes, crime, suspense, mystery, but it's not just crime. And you wonder, and also, again, in a way, when we had Claudia Pinheiro, and she was talking about how there's crimes of society, crimes against women. So now it's like you almost feel this writer also, what is the crime? It's not just the bodies, it's the crimes of humanity against, the man who's being horrible to the little boy, or you see,
and the main man,
the main man,
some
that we don't know about.
Exactly.
We don't know about what he has done. We don't know what he did.
Well, there's something with him. One feels it's something of the sort of fraudulent monetary.
Yeah.
One doesn't quite feel that he's killed somebody necessarily. No. But he's done something really horrendously awful.
He might actually have been a policeman because
he was a policeman.
Yes,
he was a policeman.
The man whose flat it was.
Yes.
Definitely says depends.
He was a policeman, I think.
So he was a corrupt policeman.
He was a corrupt cop. Yeah. I mean, I think it's really interesting what you say about the crimes that society, because I think that's what it's all about.
It's about, exactly.
It's all about Spain having had the terrible crash, we all had the terrible economic crash, but in Spain it was demonstrated most obviously by the housing boom, and then the complete crash, which means that things like this, flight of fancy, where you'd build a new community it's a real place.
In the middle of the place. Well,
it's a real place.
The Guardian, we found the article about it.
And it's
Manhattan of La Mancha. Or
I mean, it's in the middle of La Mancha. I don't know if you've ever been to central Spain.
Completely.
Which is there's just nothing. There's nothing. It's that red earth that just goes on forever. And the odd windmill and Don Quixote. He's not there anymore, but it's just really surreal, this idea that you can build a community essentially in the desert, and vanity of vanities, all of that.
But also you've got it's. I was interested in Spain, the context, because actually my mother lived in Spain in the 50s when. I mean, that was before, but tourism sort of began, so people began to live there. Okay, there were Robert Graves and all that, so it was all that vibe. But all the writers there, and in Puerto del Reich in Mallorca, so it was lovely. But still, you did begin. She actually wrote for something called the Spanish American Courier, and I've got old copies of it. So it's all very. It's like a sort of picture post of etc. But that's when tourism began, and then tourism. When you look at what's happened, Spain, I remember the south of France as a child. I mean, it's just building, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And there have been these terrible scandals. It happens quite often. Developers, they start these great schemes and dreams. They need your money to build it. But then it can all go belly up. So there's a very real, that's what also I thought beyond, that's what I was saying, really good writing and literature, and especially in translation from other countries, there's a sort of massive universal theme.
Yes,
that
absolutely.
Makes it really travel.
Yes.
And it makes you think about everywhere. I mean, let's not mention how the White House person, the current occupant of the White House, made money. I mean, there are stories there about unfinished towers everywhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
it's
I mean,
like
there's
a game,
lot
but
of reality in it.
But there is a reality.
There's also a lot of surreal.
Like,
because, J.G. Ballard, high rise and concrete island.
That's true.
I feel
That's
it.
true.
I felt it was
true.
very, very like J.G. Ballard. I thought there was a real sniff of I think there's a little bit of Claudia Pinero in it, but I think there was a real sniff of J.G. Ballard, of that kind of, this just, it's like, it's so entirely unnatural and so sort of forced into its landscape.
Yeah.
And everybody's forced into behaving in a way that is completely unnatural. And I think that's really fascinating. And that's that's exactly what J.G. Ballard writes about.
That's true. And then also, you were saying it made you think a bit about Beckett. There is that slightly waiting for ...
Something that's like
The atmosphere.
Well, absolutely.
The atmosphere.
I never thought of that.
There is a...
could finish everything, and it mentions faith or losing his faith, like the gardener at the end losing his faith. It's kind of like in ways of God, they slowly just losing faith.
No, it's so there's a lot in it.
Me of the housing development in the UK. My parents
really
actually bought a house in a development when they're still building.
Yeah, they're still. Oh, really?
It's
you see,
finished
my goodness,
now, so
it is finished. Thank goodness. Oh, well done. No, they do get finished sometimes, but that's interesting. So
the community there's kind of remind me of how it's like.
Really, that's interesting.
It's
Because
it's not that much around, so they kind of just.
You're an island kind of thing.
Meet each other and make friends with each other and get around. So.
But there was something after the war, was it called Newtown?
But I think there's a real difference between
perhaps.
the sort of Newtown thing, which is that very idealistic, modernist, we are architects and we think we have a plan for how everybody will live and it'll all be wonderful.
And this
which is just pure, this is pure opportunism. And selling a complete sort of false dream. It's like quite literally selling a false dream. I love the bit at the beginning where there's the poster that's faded and the only colour that's left is the blue, and it's the golf course and the tennis court are all blue because it's faded in the sun, and the promises that they have that just never materialise.
Yes. And I like what she says, the main character says about blue. She said, I don't know why anybody thinks blue is a cold colour, because you just think of this baking sun.
Yeah.
I found it quite interesting in the book how the people who live in the settled inhabited bit often refer to mixed with the locals. It's they don't see themselves. I don't know. I find that quite interesting.
And the locals call them settlers.
Yes,
that's right.
So we had.
That's interesting. Yes.
There was a lot of discussion about what the right word should be.
I know, because what is
English.
it in Spanish?
I knew you were going to ask.
Sorry, I'll be quiet. No, I'm so sorry.
I can't remember what it was, but it prompted a lot of discussion as to what should be the right word. Settlers has a slightly unsettling sense to it. It has a slightly unsettling geopolitical sense to
it's in many ways.
which we quite liked.
Yeah, it's very good.
and it's sort of slightly more subtle, I think, than... I'm going to look up... Talk, you not talk, and I will look up what the Spanish word is, because it's actually really interesting.
With this...
Colonos. Los colonos.
Los colonos.
Los colonos. It's colonos, actually.
So
Los colonos.
So that is the colonizer.
The colonizers.
Does it have the same like sort of violent connotations?
It does.
I think it does. I wonder if colono is... Yeah, the colonials. The colonialists.
Yeah.
The colonialists.
Or a colony.
Or a colony.
A colony.
I wonder if that is more subtle, because I think it means it can work in both directions, which possibly settlers doesn't. I don't know. Anyway, there was much debate. So it's colono was the Spanish word.
But maybe also, I don't know, here in English, the vibes, the atmosphere of the word colony or colonist or colonial, it's got very heavy connotations and politics and stuff.
Yes.
I don't know if in colonos in Spanish it's as what are the connotations?
Well,
is it settler? Is it colonial? But is it less? Because here,
so colonia. So you do call like holiday developments. Colonia is a perfectly acceptable word for it.
En français, on a colonie de vacances.
Yes, on colonias.
Colonie de vacances.
So that sort of softens it.
That softens it. Yeah, you see.
Obviously, Spain has an enormous imperial past. It just didn't happen to have one in the 20th century.
Yeah.
So it had lost it all by 1898, but it did have a really tremendous imperial past.
Excuse me.
With a lot of colonial colonial does mean, if you say colonial in Spanish, it sort of means it tends to mean architecture from the empire in Latin America.
Right, that's interesting. Right.
It's like el estilo colonial, that sort of thing. So I think they are, because it's 100 years, they're possibly more at a remove from it.
Well, also,
which is why settlers, I don't know. I think settlers probably is the right choice. Yeah. But did you like her style and the way that she?
Yeah. I mean, you felt you really sort of got to know the characters, but you didn't know their names.
Yeah.
You knew Matthias, but you didn't know the two main characters' names, did you? They never... Yeah, and the chapter by chapter, I think, worked really well.
Oh, what, the him, then her, then him, then her,
Yes, I think that worked well.
Yes, that was rather fun, though. And then, but at the end, there were actually some criminals who came in. I was reading that perhaps rather fast. That's right, because then, yes, that's right. All the angry, the maid, they all go and try and attack. They discovered other things that didn't happen quite like they do in the movies either, namely that houses don't set on fire when you want them to. Showing up angry with a jerry can of petrol isn't enough, especially when your flaming torch lands in a puddle before you've even had time to unscrew the cap. Anyway, so there was a total, they all were trying, that's right, 20 of them versus 3 men and a dog, that's right. And I thought that was an extraordinary, visual...
So interesting, because it's escalated from telling somebody you can't wear leggings.
Yeah.
I think that's such a good point. It escalates from literally saying, "Oh, you can't wear leggings." I mean, he uses... So is she called Beatriz, the woman who says that she can't wear leggings?
Yes.
They use a very, very offensive word in Spanish. It is kind of like it's a very classist word. So very strong in Spanish, and we had to get across, because it's really awful, the leggings comment. It's really, really awful. Yeah. And as you say, to go from it, actually, it's just really interesting how you go from leggings to flaming torches. It's like it's like stop being a chav to flaming torches in 3 easy steps.
It's like what you might get told off for. I think that's what, like, just something I really liked about her writing as well. Just like is quite almost minimalist writing in that it's like it's not like super emotive, but like somehow like really conveys a lot of emotion. I think just like you feel like you can feel what that character is feeling.
I think that's really well put. Because it is exactly as you say. It's kind of rather flat. But in it there's so much. And her turn of phrase is kind of completely perfect. And Charlie, has done an amazing job to capture that from the Spanish and to bring it into the English.
There's also now. What was this? That I didn't. I thought the blue marked stones.
I love the blue
I
marks.
thought.
Because her insanity. I mean, she's going entirely insane in
Exactly.
this awful place.
Yeah.
So all she does is draw blue things on stones. And then throws them. I thought it was the most wonderful, wonderfully vivid demonstration of kind of losing your mind.
And also trying to make your mark on the place.
Well, actually, absolutely.
You know, which doesn't feel like home.
Trying to control it somehow.
Literally
Making your mark. Making your mark. Absolutely.
And the main character picks up one, and then right at the end he throws.
Then he throws it in.
Yeah.
That's right, into the distance, the wasteland.
Yeah.
No, but also there was that thing that then they're spread all down the street. Hang on, somebody goes and steals.
I think she.
Who is it? She goes and
collects
them all and scatters them everywhere. That's right.
And then gets the female protagonist to drive her around and then scatter the stones.
Scatter them everywhere. That's right.
And then
It's extraordinary. Oh, here we are. She's gone to the capital for a few days. As you're aware, she wasn't very well.
Yes.
That's
No,
why
she
he
gets
banished
packed
her.
off.
But that's what you do with women in particular, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what's.
Didn't
Yes,
you know
I think
your
that's,
wife?
and Sergio
Yeah.
Morales would absolutely pack Natalia off.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, let's pack her off to the nut house.
Yeah.
Rather than...
Here we are. Didn't you know your wife was keeping all those stones in the garage? Natalia had her strange habits, but they were harmless and most of all discreet. Yesterday, though, everyone saw it.
Yeah. So Rosa is a straight crime novelist. I mean, have you seen a picture of her?
What do you
She
mean?
looks like a sort of young. She's just very, very cheeky and very naughty. And she's had a very successful career
series of things.
as a detective
series. We did do a bio
novelist.
about her. Yeah.
She's written, her most famous one is a trilogy about a family of private investigators.
Yeah,
so it's
that
like a
sounds
family
fun.
business of private investigators in kind of the outskirts of Barcelona. So that's her main thing. And since Far was a kind of slight change of direction. And since then she's written 2 memoirs, because in Spain she is sort of at the stage where actually she writes literary memoirs. So this was the first book that we actually made an offer on. This was the first book. This is kind of how Foundry began, with Far. Yeah. Although it's the third one to come out, it was the one that we actually bought the rights to first.
Okay.
Because
you knew her work in Spanish already.
Absolutely. So the story, I mean, it's a silly story. We were in Madrid and we were getting the train to Toledo to do whatever, and I went into a bookshop, and on the table there was a table, and there was Lejos and there was Spanish Beauty, and I bought them both. And it was a complete jackpot because they're both fantastic books. And in fact, I didn't really move from the pool in Toledo. I mean, I managed the wedding, but other things. So that was it. And when the whole idea of doing this ridiculous little press came about, it was like, well, those 2 have got to be on the list because they're brilliant. I think the way that they present Spain and the way that they present what's happened in Spain economically and socially since the crisis is really, really, really fascinating. It's like Far could only happen in Spain.
Exactly. Yeah. There can be wonderful books that you read, in my case, in French, but I just know it's not going to travel.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it's just too damn local.
Yeah.
And so you're looking for books that are amazingly good storytelling and really get everyone going. And I mean, I think this is such a fabulous example of something that really travels well, yet is still awfully local too. It's very odd because it's got big subjects. It's the corruption, it's the building, it's the love of, so they're massive universal things, but it's also damn local. I mean, it really combines a lot. This book.
I think so. I mean, that's why.
And that's why I love.
That's why I love it.
Yeah.
Precisely because it does that. I think it does that incredibly well. But I really hope that you felt that you were transported to this sort of dusty place
sure did.
on the plateau where there's nothing apart from that sun. It's just like the sun.
I mean, I completely relate with you not being able to move from being glued from this book. I literally when I was finishing this book, I got off the tube and I stood on the platform because I was just I've got a few few pages.
I love it.
Well done getting off the tube.
Actually, yeah, you didn't end up at the Hendon or somewhere. Yeah. Good point. Yeah, that has been known to happen. You're suddenly like, oh my god, I've missed my stop.
Good safety card. But, like, there are some books where I like hear every stop, but this was one where it just total immersion.
Yeah. Pacheco, was that what he was called?
Pacheco.
Did he deserve to die?
Well, I'm
Well,
now there's a moot point.
but I think, but this is a crime of society, isn't it? It's like the gardener was so.
Yes.
If the gardener
worshipped him and then
is shaken to, bash him over the head with a spade.
Yes, having worshipped him.
Having
yes,
worshipped
that
him.
moment. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, but that was very well done. He kind of just dismisses the poor mate. He's completely dismissed like some, almost like some piece of God knows what on your shoe.
Yeah.
You don't want to be. I mean, and I thought, ooh, what's going on there? I thought there was an awful lot going on behind there. Is that how it's ooh? Yes, that was amazing. It's true.
It's like that, but then contrasted with every Wednesday at midnight, he comes and
weeps.
And
Oh, I love that. Weeping at the statue.
Kind of his failure.
Well, there's also the shame. It's like in a way, it's like, oh, there's the grandfather and his espadrille. The farmer. And you think also, and there he is weeping for forgiveness, almost like some old godly idol.
Absolutely.
You hear in the sort of Old Testament and things, they're always, there's always blood running down doors. There's something almost wonderfully rather almost pagan about it.
Well, I think
that,
but that sort of Los
Very
Pueblos
Catholic.
de España, the interior of Spain, which is so like hardcore.
Because he's supposed to be in another country. They say he's fled.
Yes, he's fled. He's meant to have ran away.
Couldn't quite let go of the old roots.
No.
No. It's a very.
One of the reviewers I saw said it reminded her of the paintings by, and I can't pronounce this, forgive me, Georgia de Chamberet.
Georgia de
Chamberet. That's a
Chamberet.
good one. I love Chamberet. Yeah, he does those rather wonderfully surreal.
Because I did look
That's
at it,
true.
and there was one called Mystery and Melancholy of a Street, and it definitely did have.
It is
that
true.
Sort of feeling.
That's true.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Who does that? Is it Wyeth who does those very bleak, empty landscapes?
Oh, right.
There's a certain kind of art where you have these amazing bleak. Wyeth does, but it's very American or something.
You're right, yeah.
But again, it's the bleak seascapes. There's the house. Wyeth. He's another.
Georgia
thinking about it.
Can do that as well.
Yeah, there's a sort of certain type. There's this.
So it's kind of unnerving.
And slightly
almost.
unnerving.
It is unnerving.
Yeah, you think like the book, you think something is going to be, and it
And even the
isn't,
films,
and your world is slightly on a teeter.
I think like going back to like the gardener and like the statue, something it kind of reminded me of was like sort of like like in communist Eastern Bloc countries, you often see like big brutalist sort of structures.
Well, but then they all got knocked down. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's not.
It is really interesting because we mustn't ever forget that Spain was that until 50
Franco.
years.
Franco.
Spain really was that until 50 years ago. Rosa grew up under Franco. Rosa grew up in Barcelona under Franco. It's there in Spain, and I think you picking that out is really, really fascinating.
That's an interesting point.
The kind of, it's like, actually, are we as Spaniards? It's like, are we kind of naturally slightly predisposed to do this? And so the haunting, absolutely, the haunting. I found that really, really interesting. And it's all kind of quite cyclical. There is a sort of sense of haunting throughout, actually. And it's like, because you're haunted by, but being haunted by the living as well as by...
because there's the lights. He looks out and there's the insomniac.
Yes.
The light on, and then, and it's always on, but he never sees anybody.
And he's a ghost, really, because he can only exist in the shadows.
Yes.
Exactly.
So I think that sort of... that kind of... Well, he kind of is a bit, isn't he?
Yeah.
So that sort of... It's not quite clear whether, And I think that all adds to the real surreal thing of it all. It's like, it's like, God, my life has become such that I can only go out... I live in an abandoned, half-finished housing estate, and I can only go out at night. It's like...
But what's nice
Would
at
be
least
the
at the end
best
they get
place to end
away.
up.
They do at least get away.
They get away.
That is nice. I mean, so there's a little thing of hope at the end.
And they
get
take
out.
Matthias with them.
And they take, exactly. It's rather touching
that's
that,
right.
his loyalty.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly.
It's
so
quite
they do.
interesting how, like, for the woman in the story, like, obviously she starts out working during the day, and then, like, almost she's more happy when towards the end, when she's working towards in the night. Like,
Oh, because she's consulting in Asia, isn't she?
Like,
Yeah.
switches that, and then, like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Well, also
there's
she doesn't
something
speak
just
very
occurred,
well.
so-
Yeah.
And I think that it is all about sort of, so the light place and the place that you think is real actually is the thing that the two characters that you like most sort of spurn. It's like they spurn the light and they gravitate towards the darkness, and they sort of want to become ghosts because they can't be real in this environment.
Yeah.
So you feel that they can only become real again when they escape.
Yeah. And there's that sort of turning point where she smashes the mug.
Yes.
You know, she's
the
been
mug, that's
haunted
right.
by this man in the bushes with a gun, blah, blah, blah. And then she smashes the mug, and she manages to turn the community, who have sort of seen her as a bit of an outside, against him.
Yeah.
That's when they start to be able to make their...
To be free.
Get away.
Well, it's not free, but
yeah.
That brings us to the end of our discussion. Thank you all for joining us, and to Richard Village for giving us insights into the book and the translation and more, and to Hatchards for hosting us. For those of you listening who would like to read far, please do visit our bookshop online at bookshop.org.uk.